Change is in the air, navigating through the mountainous terrain of NXT.
I'm just as stunned as the rest of the NXT universe. Ethan Page, the new face of NXT.
This ain't NXT. It's NXT.
Ego stands at the top, but a new name echoes through the halls.
Say my name. Believe me, I will appear.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
No Mercy will have a special guest referee.
Will all Ego reign supreme in Denver? Or will the NXT universe sing along with a new champion? A must-see friendship has been irreversibly broken.
Dr. Brother, what are you doing? You left me alone!
Forget the friendship that we've had. No mercy. I am going to show you why I'm the WWE superstar and you are nothing but a TNA wrestler.
At No Mercy, this TNA wrestler is going to beat the ass of this WWE superstar, Wes Lee.
The Prodigy continues to dominate every challenger in her path.
So what's it gonna take for everyone to start treating me like the champion that I am?
But a new contender has arisen.
Roxanne Perez, when it comes to that title, Jada Parker got next.
Tonight, change is inevitable. Champions will be challenged. Nightmares will be realized. A dog will take on a ruler. And tonight, there will be no mercy.
And now, WWE presents No Mercy.
Tonight, some of our NXT superstars look to recapture glory as others look to make the most of an opportunity. All the while, one champion tries not to believe. In the end, they will all have to show no mercy. And you can feel the energy here tonight for the first time in 20 years. A premium live event is in Denver. Not just one, but 5 championship matches on the line tonight.
Come on,
Joseph,
Vic. Come on. This is No Mercy. This is NXT. But we're about to do it like it should be done. Can you dig that sucker? Oh, yeah.
And what a way to kick off the night with the NXT Tag Team titles being defended. And Book, I really want to bring this out here because you're looking at the champions. Ridge Holland kept his promise. He cashed in the favors. Can you finally give this man his just due for what he has brought to Chase University?
What are you talking about? What are you talking
What am I
about?
talking about?
I just told you, Colin. Props since day one may not be the props you want to hear, but I've been giving props.
Flipping on the other side, look at the challengers, and Did they do too much? Did Axiom and Frazier do too much, which led them to lose the titles, both of course on WWE Speed? They just weren't focused.
You don't necessarily say that. I mean, Axiom and Frazier, these guys were really, really well under pressure. I just think that night was just not their night. I think it happens. It happens. This is the rematch.
We'll get into how they earned this rematch here in just a moment.
The following contest, scheduled for one fall, is for the NXT Tag Team Championship! Introducing first, the challengers, the team of Nathan Frazier and Axiom. And their opponents, representing Chase University, they are the NXT Tag Team Champions, Ridge Holland and Andre Chase.
As we get ready for this matchup, Book, you brought up the rematch. You remember it was Riley Osborne and Duke Hudson who lost, which paved the way for the challengers here tonight for this matchup. And look, these are two teams that stole the show in Toronto at Heatwave. The difference, though, was Duke Hudson was the one who was partnered with Andre Chase. And it was on that night that Axiom and Frazier retained the title.
Yeah, which makes me think there might be a little bit of trouble in paradise as far as Chase Hugo maybe not on the same page tonight. We're going to find out. Oh, beautiful shot there by Andre Chase.
Into the cover, first one of the matchup and a kick out. If you were playing the game No Mercy, that would have been kitchen sink if you were trying to create your own superstar. But I want to get into, you know, what's going on with the challengers. I mean, do personal aspirations overtake a tag team agenda at times?
You know, Vic, I must say yes. I mean, it happens to all of us. I mean, a la Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty. You feel me? You feel me?
I hear what you're saying, and it didn't take long to trend #1. NXT No Mercy. Tag team titles kicking us off, and there is
baby. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We're kicking this thing off quick here tonight.
Never slow down. That's the motto, of course, of Nathan Frazier. You know, what advice then do you give the former champions on searching for those outside opportunities as solo competitors?
You gotta have tunnel vision, Vic. You gotta stay focused at all times. Keep your eyes on the prize, and that is right now the tag team championship.
Well, a tag was made, and there comes the massive Ridge Holland with all that strength. And take a look.
Whoa!
Pure power.
It's just manhandling right there, Vic. That's called.
And look at the double underhook suplex with a little extra oomph into the cover. No hook of the leg and a kick out here in this match. Of course, the challenger's supposed to be Blake Howard on the countdown to No Mercy. They seem poised, prime, and ready tonight. But the same can be said for the champions.
No, you see that? Ridge Holland, quick in, quick out. Beautiful, beautiful tag team work. Oh, so close, so close.
Another kick out. Look, Chase University, they have been looking strong early on. And it's thanks to the powerhouse, Ridge Holland, as Axiom trying to turn things around. Frazier trying to turn things around in this matchup. Tagging in Axiom is now both superstars just ping-ponging.
Oh, yes.
Off the DDT into the cover and a near fall.
Need a little bit more of that work right there, Vic. Just try to stay on top of him. Just keep the pedal down, man.
Talk about Axiom and Frazier, and you know that interview earlier, and we talked to him during the week, and they were opponents at one point. They were rivals. They came together for a good, to become champions, to start taking it to the next level. You take a look at their overall record in various tag team competitions. They're 11-6, but they have been very impressive over the summer. Bam! Nice kick.
It's like Houdini said back in the day, two people sharing one common cause, and that is to become the best. Oh, yes.
Point from you, Stereo, super kicks. Shooting star, cover for the title. Chase just got that right shoulder up.
Man. I tell you right now, Frazier and Axiom right now working beautiful together.
Boom! Bam! And then followed it up with almost bringing the titles back to become two-time NXT Tag Team Champions. Another tag was made, and I just looked up from the monitor. Ridge Holland down. Do not see him. Andre Chase is at this alone, kind of what we saw when he teamed with Drew Cutson when you go back to Toronto, when you go back to Heatwave. Andre Chase now going to have to put Chase U on his back for a little bit.
I really don't like all the cheerleaders out here, man. I mean, that's a disadvantage for Frazer and Axiom. It really truly is, Vic.
Axiom with the ankle lock in, but look where Axiom's positioned, so close to his corner. But a nice counter by Andre Chase, and then both men, same idea. Double clothesline, both teams down. Who can rally? This could be the pivotal moment of this matchup.
No, it definitely is right now. Who's going to make that tag first?
It looks like it was almost at the same time as Holland back in, but there's Frazer. Oh!
Wow.
This with the right, gets you with the left. Another big suplex by Ridge.
That's the difference maker right there, the game changer.
And how does a force like Ridge change the complexities of this matchup?
Exactly my point. I mean, come in right now, you look at it's all muscle. You gotta compete with that right there. And I don't think Frazer or Axiom can do it. Oh my God,
Got
man.
Ridge into a DDT, into a cover, but no! Was not enough to retain the titles, and again, high impact offense from Ridge Holland. And you know, you got to take a look at this matchup. You start looking ahead. You look ahead to the next Premium Live event, of course, which is in October, Halloween Havoc, the CW, debut in a few weeks. You take a look at the tag team division. What is the current state of the division?
You know, I really think the tag team division is wide open right now. It's looking for somebody to step in there and do something right now. We're looking at the tag team champion, but how long they're going to hold on to it, that's the question. Oh, wow!
Power strength again, and you got to remember for Ridge Holland, 6 years to finally wear gold here in this company, and he's fighting like it's his last day. He's laying it all on the line, and Ridge going to the top.
I'm going to tell you right now, Vic, that first championship is like the precious. It's like the precious, man. You won't never want to lose it.
All the way from the top. Holland into the cover, and Frazer flying through the air.
Wow, out of nowhere, Vic. That right there tells me a lot about this team here tonight. They're in sync.
You bring up the team, it's hard to believe, too, when you think of Andre Chase and Ridge Holland. This is just the second time they've ever teamed together. The first time they won tag team gold as Denver rising to their feet here at No Mercy.
I mean, it seems like a one-man wrecking crew right now. Ridge Holland is doing all the work. What the hell is Andre Chase?
Talk about doing all the work. It is a 2-for-1. Axiom Frazer working as a unit into the cover, hook of the leg this time, and another kick out.
Going to take a whole lot of that right there, too, Vic. Double up, one more time, man.
Hank and Tank, OTM, Idris, Malik, Gallus, also Riley and Duke on the outside. All those teams watching this match so closely with the tag team division hanging in the balance. Big headbutt, finally a tag. And, well, let's see Andre Chase now, Book.
See exactly what he got, Vic. Let's see exactly what he's the president of the U, right?
He's president. He's Chase U. It's after him, Booker. He's not the president of the. Never mind. We'll explain that later. Because right now to the top rope, we've seen this before. That Spanish fly, but look at Ridge Holland running a little deep. Oh, miscommunication. Axiom just got dropped.
Wow, we don't see that too often out of this team right here, Vic. Oh, what is Andre Chase going to do?
Whoa.
It's not his comfort zone.
No way. Tit for tat. Spanish fly from Chase. Turn it around. Double underhook. Sit down. Powerbomb.
That's it.
To retain. No, not yet.
Wow.
Thea Hale beside herself. Wow.
Resilience from Axiom to kick out of that big shot. Wow.
Bang. Well, hold on. You talk about the resilience of Axiom. Give credit to Andre Chase.
No.
This man is pulling out all the stops.
Give Andre Chase a lot of credit, but you got to give Axiom a little bit more for that kick out right there. That was it, Vic.
Ooh. Able to catch for a second, but there comes that power again of Ridge Holland lighting up Axiom.
God.
And as much credit as I give Andre Chase for getting Chase U back on the right path, it's also Ridge Holland, who really, since he's been accepted into Chase U, has really the entire campus, their confidence has gotten a huge boost.
So you buying into Ridge Holland by any
Always
means?
have.
But no, by any means necessary.
Always have.
You've seen what he's done.
Boom! Super kick under the jaw, Ridge. Axiom the only one standing. Now it looks like he's gonna fly. And now Frazier. Whoa! Axiom. Oh, I've seen this movie once before. Oh! And again, Ridge just overpowering. And look at Axiom and Frazier bouncing right back.
Oh, baby. Not tonight. Not tonight.
Chase got wiped out. Axiom Frazier right now. Booker, to steal your phrase, they're rocking and rolling.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. I see something special coming. Oh, yes.
Frog Splash connects. Axiom is legal. Big kick under the jaw of Ridge Holland. But wait a minute, Frazier. Wait, is Frazier legal?
That's it. That's it.
Legal. Oh my gosh, that was close.
Got to be kidding me.
So much action.
You
I
got
forgot
to be
that
kidding
Frazier
me.
was a legal superstar. And take a look. He was able to fool everybody. Bang! And just not enough.
Decision timing on that. Just couldn't get the cover, just couldn't get the 3 count.
Booker, what a way to kick off No Mercy. I said it once, I'll say it again. Chase, nice catch. Nice counter, though. Coming right back in with a boot was Andre Chase. Step up in Seguri. Right back with a back fist. Chase barking at Holland. Ridge is back up. Oh, and he's going up.
Here comes the muscle. Here comes the muscle. The muscle is about to fly, Vic. Oh, yes!
Doomsday device. You got to be kidding me. This just shows you what it means to these two teams to be the tag team champions here in NXT.
I must say they're letting it all hang out tonight, Big Ed, leaving everything on the line, everything in the middle of that square circle. You gotta love it.
Combination offense.
Wow.
Right back into a big slam. Into the cover. And Axiom was able to rise back up. You talk about presence of mind, knowing where you're at.
Ridge Holland was trying to secure the pinfall there, but got caught out of position.
This is our opening contest, the first of 5 championship matches here at No Mercy. We're in Denver. The atmosphere has been electric as these 4 have been tearing the house down. And again, Book, I'll say it one more time. This is how we're starting tonight.
Just getting kicked off, Vic. For the people just tuning in, This is the first match.
Nice roundhouse kick from Frazier, who now hoists up Chase. These two teams who know each other so very well, you got to wonder what is it going to take
Look at the battle.
to keep the other one down.
Look at the battle scars on the back of Nathan Frazier. He's, like I say, letting it all hang out here tonight, Vic. You want those titles back.
It was did you see that tag?
Beautiful tag. Beautiful tag.
This is how they became contenders.
That's it. That's it.
Right,
tag team champions,
golden
baby.
ratio combo.
Wow.
Chase
What
kicked
the?
out. It may be those cheerleaders, as you call them, on the outside, giving Andre Chase a little extra here tonight. But now, looking for that golden ratio. Oh, miscommunication. We've seen this in the past. Frazier's out. Axiom doesn't realize Ridge Holland is the legal superstar. If he didn't realize it then, he certainly knows now.
Good night.
Power bomb, backstabber. Chase you. Still. What?
No. You.
What?
Oh, hell no.
How? How, Book?
The goal, Vic. Like I say, the goal will make you do strange things, Vic.
NXT Universe. Frazier, drop kick, took out Holland, but also that momentum took down Andre Chase. Flying through the air, never slow down.
Wow.
That's the motto of Frazier and Axiom. Back into the ring, inside cradle, inside cradle.
That it?
Woo!
Wow.
Back up, nice duck and a big swinging neck breaker from Andre Chase. And again, You talked about stepping out of your playbook, stepping out of your comfort zone. Chase did it one more time. This time it will not pay off.
I was going to say Andre Chase got a chance to show me a little something, but got caught watching the paint dry right
saw
there.
That tag, because Frazier's now leaving.
Oh, yes.
This is the combo. It's the Spanish fly. And then you follow it up with a little Phoenix splash here in the Mile High City. Into the cover, and the challengers reclaim the titles.
Here are your winners and new NXT Tag Team Champions, Nathan Frazer and Axiom.
Wow.
Oh, they deserve that book.
Listen to this crowd.
Hats off. NXT Universe standing ovation for the new Tag Team Champions. And
God, man.
Look, I want to go back. I mean, I don't even know how you find highlights, because this was a highlight reel. First, it was this doomsday device from Ridge Holland, flying through the air, did everything he could to keep gold around his waist. Frazer was able to kick out again. This is a man who has battled and overcome the odds for the last 6 years. Here, though, bam! That miscommunication, which in the past has been the detriment of Axiom and Frazer, and it allowed Ridge Holland to change the game. And right here, boom! That vicious, devastating powerbomb, backstab combo, but it was not enough to keep down the heart of Axiom, who then would showcase his heart. And Frazer would showcase that natural aerial ability. Bam! With that Phoenix splash. Out the Spanish fly to reclaim the tag team titles. They were poised, they were primed, and they were ready tonight to reclaim the gold. But hats off to Chase U, who brought it here tonight in Denver at No Mercy. What the hell, Ridge? What are you doing? Get out of the way, son of a bitch! Booker, we need to get some help out here. Oh my. Booker, I was wrong earlier. Did you see the look in Ridge's eyes? Whoa. We're in the Mile High City, home of Monday Night Raw tomorrow night. But tonight, Denver, Colorado, the home of No Mercy. And we just saw our first of 5 championship matches tonight. Earlier today, Jada Parker arrived for her first Women's Championship opportunity here in the Ball Arena, and she's going to have to face someone, Booker, you know very well. The prodigy, the champion, the confident Roxanne Perez. NXT Women's Championship on the line later tonight. But we got to go back to what we just saw moments ago. We kicked off the night with new tag team champions, but the headline is what happened after the matchup. Ridge Holland showing no mercy to Chase U. First attacking Riley Osborne and Duke Hudson, and then turning his attention to Andre Chase. Right here with the Redeemer on our announce table. The rage of Ridge unleashed tonight, and there you see the aftermath, which happened moments ago, and we hope to have an update on Andre Chase later on tonight. But we got to move on with the evening, because coming up next, there's going to be a lot of rage in this matchup. It's not about titles. It's about a bond broken. Brothers, partners, no more. Wes Lee turned his back on Zachary Wentz, leading to a fight we never thought we would see.
Chasing this dream put me down a very dark path. But when you align yourself with the right people, you keep your mind right, we will not be denied.
Wes Lee, Zachary Wentz, together they are
M.S.K.
All night,
And all day, dude.
all the hard work.
Dedication. This is everything to us.
I went from being your two-time NXT Tag Team Champion with my best friend and my brother, just to have our world explode right from under our feet. No! While I am sifting through the rubble trying to find myself, all that I find is pain and anger.
I can never forget my past, and I can only rely on myself and make the waves that I'm destined to. You know my story with the North American Championship.
Wes Lee, the greatest North American champion ever.
It literally broke my back trying to defend it.
I'm unsure on when you will see me again. It's gonna take surgery and time. Yes, it was hard, but I was focused on one goal: to get back here.
Wes Lee's back!
I've talked about this title so much to the point that it's become an obsession.
That was the thing that truly pushed me through rehab. I imagined the title in my hands again, and I was ready to proudly raise it above my head as the king of the West Side. But unfortunately, that's not how it happened. I have had one hell of a run here in NXT. I think it's time for me to start stepping away.
No way! Booker, it's Wesley's best friends and former partners. Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz are here. We don't want to see Wesley go. We have missed you so much. I think it's time we get MSK back together.
I believed that I was going to be winning the tag team titles with my best friend. But that's your brother. What are you doing? Zach let me down again. You left me alone. I am tired of taking care of you. Zach, you and I are just not on the same level.
A match we never thought would ever happen. Lee Wentz at No Mercy.
I want you to dead everything. Forget the friendship that we have had. Forget everything that we have done. At No Mercy, I am going to show you why I'm the WWE superstar and you are nothing but a TNA wrestler.
Bro, at No Mercy, this TNA wrestler is going to beat the ass of this WWE superstar, Wes Lee.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. introducing first, he is the TNA X Division Champion, Zachary Wentz.
Look, you just heard from the ring announcer Alicia Taylor. There is the TNA X Division champion, who is Zachary Wentz, who won that title the other night. He's looking to cap off a big, big weekend. But this is not about titles. This is not about, as you would say, what's your favorite quote when it comes to championships?
Championships, all that. No. It's about two brothers going in here and settling a score. This is personal, Vic.
Been a lot of ups and a lot of downs for Zachary Wentz. Is he 100% mentally and physically ready for tonight? Because I take a look at what Zachary Wentz is wearing. Take a close look. Those are pictures. There's photos of him and his opponent tonight. His brother, his former partner, Wes Lee.
And his opponent, Wes Lee.
No one thought, I certainly didn't, that Wes was capable of doing and saying the things he has recently.
Vic, like I said a second ago, this is personal, man. And what I see is all the hurt, all the pain coming out of this young man, Wesley, for being left behind, being left for dead.
That's how,
being that
I'm not
role
gonna argue with you.
that came up out of the concrete and became North American champion, the greatest North American champion in the history of NXT. He did it all by himself, Vic.
Well,
He didn't have any cheerleaders pushing him to the next level. He didn't have any rascals or any friends.
One coming into this matchup confident, the other one coming into this match emotional. This is a fight that Zach never wanted. This is because Wes Lee turned his back on his brothers. That is what has brought us here today. These are two guys that teamed for the first time, Booker, at Rockstar Pro, December the 12th, 2015. And they know each other so well, and you've been a part of a lot of rivalries, but against The Rock, John Cena, the Steiners. When you know someone so well, what must you do to win?
No, it's different, between me and the Rock guys like that. These guys been riding together, Vic. They've been boys for a long time. That means, like I say, this is going to be not just a fight. This might be a war.
Well, they travel the road together. You're 100% right with that. They train together. I mean, no one could have predicted this outcome as the first cover of the matchup and a quick kick out. And right back in now goes Wentz. Kick out by Wes Lee, again, still trending #1 because the action started out fast and furious. It's continuing with this matchup right here, right now. Nice takedown by Lee, double stop, doesn't connect. Wentz back to his feet, nice block for a moment. And again, here's how well these two know each other. They know what they're gonna do, rights, lefts, when they're gonna jump, when they're gonna sprint, when they're gonna walk.
It's a chess match right now, man. Who's gonna score the first shot?
And again, I bring it back to these two as they just stare holes through the other. You and Stevie Ray had to have arguments during your guys' Hall of Fame run. I mean, it happens.
No, it happens, Vic. It happens, but, you learn to get through it. Sometimes you don't. Me and my brother, we're still at odds about certain things. So I'll tell you right now, tonight we're going to find out a whole lot about both of these young men, how far they're willing to go. Yep. That's what it's all about.
I'll ask you this, too. Could these two have handled things a little bit differently, or was it just inevitable?
I think we're past that. I really do. I think that's in the rearview mirror of both of these young men's career at this point.
Wentz right now looking for that big shot, and he got it. Nice high-impact offense from the middle turnbuckle into a cover, and Wes Lee, kicked out, but barely. There was not a lot. Look at Wes Lee bailing to the outside. Wes Lee's got to take a cover. He might have the wind knocked out of him right there.
5,200 feet above sea level. These guys better be ready. You can tell right now they're gassing just a little bit.
They came out fast right out of the gate. Again, the animosity between these two. A fever pitch, and they going low.
See that?
Hanging out the legs and now right into that steel post.
I'm talking about Wes Lee set him up right there. This is a different Wes Lee. Wes Lee normally would go to that playbook right there. But tonight, it's about any means necessary, Vic.
This is just that vicious, vindictive side of Wes Lee. And you hit it right on the head, bro. Just take a look in the eyes of Wes Lee. The smile's gone from the face. He's here to prove a point. As he said, finally dropped the dead weight.
No, and I get it. But like I said earlier, Vic, how far is Wesley willing to go? That's going to be the question at the end of the day.
I'll come back and say how far is Zachary Wentz willing to go for this match, because he didn't want this to happen, but he just got dropped. Spine first, where steel meets wood.
Talked about Wentz's head, where his head is. There's no
Covered
way,
by Wesley into the cover and a kick out.
no way Wentz could be 100% focused because these guys were friends, Vic.
They were. You know, and some of the NXT universe have said in certain ways that Wesley has been selfish for his actions.
Tell you something.
I come to you and go, do you agree after seeing the physicality in this matchup?
No, I don't. I mean, you walk a mile in Wesley's shoes. Like I said, Wesley said he broke his back for this company. Come on, Vic.
Yeah, but
come on.
Look, Wentz has admitted to his past mistakes. Some wrote him off. He didn't write back. He stayed in Wesley's corner. He gave encouragement. He was there when Wesley doubted himself. You talk about breaking his back. Who was there for those late phone calls? Who was there to say, you still got this? Who was there to say, you're still one of the best? It was Zachary Wentz. And Wesley forgot about that somewhere as he continues the offensive onslaught.
It was a pity party, I think. I think Wesley just trying to give Wesley
What
some
more
kind
could
of,
Wes want then?
Come on, Vic. Come on.
What more could he want, Book?
You don't need anybody just trying to, pump you up from that perspective. You need a real friend in your corner. These guys came back because they saw Wesley at the top of this game here in NXT, and they wanted a piece of the action. They wanted some champagne witches. They wanted some of the caviar dream. That's what. Come on, Vic.
I just saw that drop kick right to the shoulder blade into another cover, and Zachary Wentz able to kick out again. But you see the game plan for Wesley. He is systematically dissecting Zachary Wentz from top, boom, to bottom.
Something Wesley is slowing
And bottom
down.
to top.
Everything right now is just, taking his time, picking his spots, taking Wentz apart piece by piece right now, making him pay Vic.
Pay for what though? Wesley can't go back in time. He can't do it. All he's done is change the address to his problems. He's blaming the Wentz, but has he ever looked at it from a different viewpoint? Things happen for a reason. Maybe he wouldn't have became one of the greatest champions in this brand's history, achieved dreams and had success.
Wait a minute, are you giving Wentz the credit for Wesley?
I'm saying, look at it.
Is that what you, come
you
on,
don't need to
Vic.
break a bond like they had, to be selfish, to bring it to this. This is sad. Zachary Wentz was heartbroken. You can see what he said on social media. He
Look,
eyes.
I can't disagree with you on that, okay? For the first time, I can't disagree with you on that, okay, Vic?
As this match continuing to break down, this very evenly matched.
Oh, baby.
Turn it around, big jumping knee right to the temple.
Big shot right there. I'm gonna tell you, Wentz looks like he's getting a little adrenaline rush right now. He's gonna need it.
He might also be trying to shake some blood back into his shoulders. I mean, go right back here and then bam, could that be the moment, Booker, that turns this matchup around for Zachary Wentz, as Wentz now trying to build some momentum here in Denver, Colorado. NXT No Mercy. Two former partners, two former brothers. The bond broken as Lee got caught and
Wow.
right down to the mat.
Wow, what was that?
That was high impact offense followed up with a snap German suplex. Wesley right now discombobulated on rubber legs. Wentz looking in, target acquired, big jumping knee under the jaw.
This kid Zach Wentz is showing me a little something right now, Vic. His in-ring prowess is stepping up to the next level.
That would
You
have been
gotta
good.
love it.
That would have been good from 60 if he was kicking for the Broncos. You said Wentz was feeling it. Right back in and again taken out. Wesley, and Wentz is really harnessing those emotions that we talked about. That anger.
I talked about it earlier as far as staying focused. This kid seems to be focused and tuned in to going out here and get perhaps the biggest win of his career over Wesley, the greatest North American champion in NXT's history.
Blocking out the pain right now is Zachary Wentz.
Royal caution to the win as well.
The energy of the NXT universe here in Denver has been off the charts, as up and down goes Wentz into the cover, hook of the leg, and Lee's left shoulder off the mat just in time. Again, these two guys who we know each other so very well, pulling out all the stops here tonight to earn a victory here at No Mercy.
You said earlier you can't go back in time, and that's right, Vic. You gotta learn when it's time to just move on. I think that's Wentz's problem.
I think it's Wes Lee's problem because he couldn't move on from the pass. Looking for that half and half, countered one more time. Lee with a nice standing switch, rolling through, shoulders down, referee, great position.
Oh, wow.
Here following this matchup. And, oh, Meteor rolled right through. Into the Boston Crab in Denver.
What a
Is he gonna
counter.
tap? Remember the surgically repaired back of Wes Lee.
There's a bad spot right here for
Oh,
Wesley.
Wentz.
Oh, my God.
Him out. He's gonna make Wes Lee crawl a mile to get to that bottom rope.
Can't get all of it. He's going to have to sit back a little bit more if you want to let it set in a little bit more on Wesley's lower lumbar. Nope.
Wes had just enough to twist and turn his way out, and little mule kick right under the jaw, backing up Wentz for a moment. Big super kick by Wentz. I don't know how Wes Lee is standing.
Hey, John.
There's one thing for sure, the Rascals riding no more here tonight at No Mercy.
Wesley's in trouble. Oh, wow.
Being able to answer right back, and there is what we've seen from Wes Lee. Lee.
Oh, my God, man. Talking about a sleeper. Talking about a sleeper. That's it.
The cover, and Wentz able to kick out. And there's going to be a little extra in this matchup. You know that. Before
oh no.
that cardiac kick from
Good
the card.
night,
And
Wentz.
good.
No,
There was only two. Chip Danning said that was only two.
that had to be a slow count, Vic.
Wentz got hit so hard, he might think his name is Carter when he wakes up. Take a look at this offense from Wes Lee. Look at the rotation, sticks to landing, couldn't get the job done. NXT Universe letting Wes Lee know how they feel about him here tonight.
King of the West Side, getting ready to take it to the street right now. This is what I'm talking about. It's about to turn into a fight. I'm loving it. Put hands on that boy. Oh, yes.
Booker, this has been a fight since both these men arrived at the airport. They knew what they were getting themselves into. Lee missing wildly with the boot, coming right back in. Oh, what the hell was that? Looked like a blockbuster DDT, followed up with a Meteora. And the momentum carrying Wes all the way to the outside. You talk about high impact offense here at No Mercy. Yeah, you said you wanted to fight, Booker. Then you just take a look in the eyes of Wes. And Wentz trying to fight back. Oh! Referee being lenient right now, Book.
Different
Because this
Wesley.
ref wants to see a victory, but you're right.
It's a different Wesley right now, Vic.
100%
Look at
right.
the eyes. Look at the eyes, Vic.
And he's
oh, yeah.
No, it was there. Wentz just got out of the way. And in a match like this, it is so personal, the referee using discretion, because he knows what's at stake. He knows the animosity between these two. Oh, then look at Wentz trying to break the count. I believe he did so, and Wes Lee having none of that. Oh!
Oh, man. Wow.
And Wentz just laid out. And Wes gonna do this? No way.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. From the top, Wes throwing caution to the wind because Wes Lee is willing to destroy himself to destroy Zachary Wentz.
This is personal, Vic. I told you, Vic.
I did say the referee is using discretion, right, Book? But when is the official going to step in to maybe... Wes,
How far is he willing to go?
Wes.
I said it earlier, Vic. How far is this young man willing to go?
You did.
He got to finish it right. Oh! Damn!
That's Trey Miguel.
Yeah, right.
The other equation for the Rascals. Open the door for a Denver Destroyer. Canadian Destroyer. I don't care what the hell you want to call it. Wentz is feeling it. The adrenaline pumping through his veins. Wentz now looking for that UFO cutter. Got all of it.
Oh, wow.
Wentz shows no mercy tonight.
Here is your winner, the TNA Division Champion, Zachary Wentz.
Look, again, this was a fight Zachary Wentz never wanted to have. You talk about throwing caution to the wind, you can throw whatever narrative you wanted to do. Wesley was out to do one thing tonight, destroy his former partner and friend. Right hand was looking for the home run shot, but instead, it was Trey Miguel, the third member of the Rascals, who made his presence known with bam! Open the door for Zachary Wentz to turn this matchup inside out, turn it up and around, hit that patented UFO cutter. And for Zachary Wentz, an emotional, perhaps the most emotional victory of his career. How good it must feel for Zachary Wentz with Trey Miguel by his side. I'm sure these two are going to know how to celebrate in the Mile High City.
Wow. Take it. Absolute banger. I mean, NXT Tag Team Championship. Oh, but the drama.
Chase you?
Yeah.
Rich annihilated Duke, bro.
Yeah, dude. And then, did you see Chase leave on a stretcher?
Dude, I feel bad for Thea. Bad night to Thea.
Poor
Oh
Thea,
my gosh,
man.
that's tough. But Nathan Axon got the job done. You gotta give him credit. Did you see Nathan in there?
No.
No, it's nauseating. He never slows down.
No,
Bang, 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 all over the place.
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
But new NXT Tag Team Champions need new #1 contenders, Hanky.
That's not a bad idea. And I know the boys are probably used to driving on the other side of the road, but I'm pretty sure they always know what a honk means.
I think they do, and if they don't, they're about to find out.
Yo, Joe. As you know, I am the special guest referee for tonight's title match. But just so you know, I'ma call it like a TI is right down the middle.
Of course, I wouldn't expect anything less. And Trick, I stand by what I said. When I win tonight, you will be first in line for a shot at the NXT title.
That's what I'm talking about. Look, I believe you. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Thank you, Trick.
Yeah, do your thing.
Well, Booker, we got a massive championship main event still to come at No Mercy.
The following contest scheduled for one fall is for the NXT Women's North American Championship. Introducing first the challenger, Wendy Choo.
I hate to even throw this out into the universe. Is the challenger the favorite in this matchup? I mean, really think about the last month or so of what we've seen from Wendy Choo. Should she be the favorite of this championship match?
I can only say this, Vic. I can only say this. It's one thing getting to the top, but it's something totally different staying at the top. We're going to find out a whole lot about Kalani Joy tonight. I always said she's special, but tonight she's in here with the sleepy psycho. Oh, yes, man.
That was good. I'm actually upset that I didn't think about that. I didn't come up with that one. Good job, Book.
Thank you.
And her opponent, she is the NXT Women's North American Champion, Kelani Jordan.
You brought up, though, moments ago about Kelani Jordan, you know, learning a lot. What do you really think when it comes to champion? When you break it down, what we are about to learn from the standout?
No, I think we're going to learn if she's been studying. I always talk about that playbook. I always say staying ready so you don't have to get ready. Preparing, preparation is the only luck you're ever going to have. But how do you prepare for Wendy Choo? I mean, you got to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning having nightmares, man.
Well, I'm glad you bring that up because how different of a test is this for Kelani going up against someone, what did you call Wendy Choo?
The sleepy psycho.
I mean, you even got to agree with me again. This is a different sort of individual. Kelani Jordan's in the ring.
No. Wendy Choo has flipped the script. I mean, she used to come to the ring all bubbly, and now
that's true.
We got this. Very, very bizarre.
Documented that Jordan, an NIL athlete, Big Ten standout from Michigan State.
That's not going to help.
This isn't the Big Ten. She's never faced anyone like Choo at Michigan State, but you know, I go back to the beginning of the night, tag team titles are on the line, what we just saw from Wesley and all the roster here at NXT. How much pressure, if any to varying degrees, are on the competitors here tonight. We talk about the CW move in a few weeks. Halloween Havoc, the next premium live event we have on Sunday, October 27th. The pressure's at an all-time high here in NXT and a kick out.
And pressure was on from day one here for these young guys here in NXT. And the thing is, it's about performing under the bright lights. It's about shining under those bright lights. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Kelani Jordan, she's been there. She's been there.
Jordan is looking to add to her own legacy here as champion, but Wendy Choo, of course, really bringing nightmares to life as still trending #1 into the cover, and we almost had a new champion as Wendy Choo now applying the offensive pressure. And really, Choo has come up with some wicked plans over the last several weeks when it comes to the women's locker room and the women's North American Championship.
Everybody's on notice right now as far as Wendy Choo goes, because before, like I say, it was a lot different. Now, is it about checks? Is it about championships? We're going to find out here tonight. Oh, beautiful.
Nice job by Jordan. She is certainly going to have a standout performance here tonight to retain the title, because Wendy Choo, it's been over 2 years since Choo has competed for the women's title, and is that part of the reason why we've seen this identity shift in Choo recently? Is up and over, and that's that standout individual. That's that taking it to the next level. That's the natural athletic ability of Kelani Jordan.
I'll tell you right now, that time off perhaps did Wendy Choo a lot of good as far as trying to get momentum, trying to find.
Not going for the cover, looking for that split-legged moonsault, but Choo
trying to create a little
rolling
space
from the left to the right side of the bed.
Trying to create a little bit of space. That was smart by Wendy Choo.
Take another look. Ooh, nasty landing for Kelani Jordan, but highly effective. And looking to clutch out Jordan. Nice roll through, shoulders are down, and having to relinquish the hold was the challenger. Choo turning right back around, looking for a belly-to-back suplex. Nice, though, counter by Kelani for a moment. Able to go up, over, land on her feet, and deliver a drop kick. You asked about the playbook. You asked about studying. Kelani's answering your questions right now, Book.
Jordan, she's a student, man. She's a student of the game. And like I say, for someone that's so young, Vic, she seems to have her head on her shoulders.
Cover.
Here we go.
Count.
Here we go.
Choo able to power out at 2. You know, for Kelani, someone that we've really gotten to know over the last several months, doesn't like those who pick on others. She's also shown she's not afraid to take risks, but maybe took a little bit too much time.
Yeah, that could be a detriment. You can't be thinking about anybody else but #1 in this business. That's what got Kelani Jordan to the top. If she wants to stay there, Vic.
Did Wendy Choo just growl? Did you hear Wendy Choo just growl at Kelani Jordan? I mean, you talked about the...
Oh! Man!
Talk about the sleepy psycho. She wants to make her dreams become a reality tonight. Finally wear gold, but she's got to bring the nightmare to the champion.
Talking about the nightmares. I love it, man.
Just a scary look on the face Wendy Choo, and it has been quite the night. The first ever NXT Premium Live event to take place here in Denver. Noted on social media, Kalani Jordan said Wendy Choo is actually her first opponent on Level Up, but this is not the same Choo that faced Jordan. We can also say that that wasn't the same Kalani Jordan either.
I mean, Kalani Jordan has grown over these last few months. I mean, not over this last year. I mean, almost became the breakout tournament winner. So close.
Yeah.
But now.
No.
Oh, man. Back to my point, holding that gold, Vic, you got a bullseye on your back.
And Wendy Choo certainly now trying to pull out all the stops. And has really had the champion's number multiple times over the last month. The number she needs now is 3, not able to get it. She has been able to clutch out Kalani Jordan at every turn. I mean, that has to help the challenger's confidence, as now we're getting into the deep waters of this match.
Let me tell you something. Wendy Choo has been a step ahead of Kalani Jordan since this match started. Oh, whoa!
Face first went the champion, and rolling right back through into a pin. Jordan was able to roll through and right in to a small flatliner. And a sinister smile on the face of the Sleepy Psycho.
Hey, come on, tell me, Vic, this Wendy Choo right here has championship potential.
There's no doubt. That is what has brought her to this matchup, and she could be closing in on her first championship. But look at the athleticism again on display from Kalani Jordan. Able to land on her feet, duck a clothesline, turn right back around, roll right through, shoulders down, near fall.
That was smart right there, going for the pinfall. Oh, my God, double chop to the throat.
And Choo turning around, and now that look on the face of Wendy Choo has almost looked and turned into determination. And right to the spine goes Choo.
Like I say, this is different. She's got more than one gear now, Vic.
Yep.
She's turning it on when she wants to. Right now, she's in total control of this matchup.
It's hard not to argue with you, Book, as Choo coming right in and showing some athleticism in her own right. And we talk about that confidence being built in the challenger over the last month. You got to also think, if you're Kalani Jordan, you haven't liked being clutched out over and over again. You got to bring it here tonight. Rolling through, cover, count, and a near fall.
It is something you're going into a match when you're the champ, and you know you still feel like you're the underdog, like you got something to prove. Oh my God, man! Wendy Choo is on top of her game.
Choo back in, big kick under the jaw, and Wendy Choo has been in control.
Oh, sleepy time.
Seen that in the past. Wearing gold in the kick out. What do you think Wendy Choo would do if she became champion here in NXT? Think about the chaos, the havoc she's reached without having any championship, any sway, any pull.
Now, you look at it, Wendy Choo, like I say, the growth of Wendy Choo after taking that layoff, and we always talk about getting that championship around your waist. It makes you about 20 to 30% better, Vic.
Kalani's got to move.
Go.
Oh, Kalani just able to shake her way free, create a little bit of separation, able to sit up this time. But right back down, look at Kalani, fighting her way through, fighting her way back up, and now both women, same idea. Both women out, with the NXT Women's North American Championship hanging in the balance here at No Mercy in Denver. And you brought it up a few times, Mile High, the air. You talk about competitors having to get used to the atmosphere here.
5,200 feet above sea level, Vic. It's going to come into play at some point in time in these matches here tonight. You just got to suck it up.
And that is what Kalani Jordan is doing right now. The champion got caught, though. German suplex delivered beautifully.
One step ahead, Vic. All night long. All night long.
Kalani, though, able to get right out in front. And now there's that athleticism, that Big Ten standout, that Michigan State athleticism.
Wow. No quitting this young lady.
College standout to NXT champion. Sidesteps Choo. Choo able to sidestep for a moment, and then almost with the heel of her foot, able to drop the challenger. And this now is go time for Kalani Jordan. We said, what are we going to learn about Kalani? It's these moments, isn't it, Booker, in championship matches.
Talking about those championship rounds.
Step up.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Rolling through's the champion. Kalani holding on. Another one. High impact offense again. to retain, and Wendy Choo
Not tonight.
just getting that shoulder up.
Not
And now
tonight.
you see the look of Kalani Jordan, frustration. Bam! She is hitting Wendy Choo with everything in that playbook you talked about and a little bit more. As back to the live action, a drop kick connected, and Wendy Choo just sat up.
You gotta wonder, how many plays left? How many plays does Kalani Jordan have left in the trick bag, Vic?
Another splat, and Choo again. Almost as if she's possessed.
Oh my God.
And Kalani stomping away. And now could be looking to fly. Wendy Choo not moving. Jordan to the top. Frog splash. You can give that 5 stars, but you can't give her the 3 yet. Choo's inside shoulder just off the mat. Unbelievable. And Book, I come back. What plays could be left?
I wonder if Kalani Jordan has run out of ideas by this point right now. Now she's just on solo right now, Vic.
And that's what we saw earlier in the matchup. Trying to go up and over. Choo, though, able to counter with some high-impact offense of her own. Big suplex on the outside.
Kalani Jordan right now have pulled every trick out of the bag, and I really honestly truly believe she's out of tricks now, Vic.
But Wendy Choo, you got to wonder what sort of nightmare she's conjured up. What sort of offense has a full Nelson right now locked in. Nice counter, though, by the champion.
Still on autopilot.
Could be Jordan back to her feet quickly. And again, charging right back in. And again, Choo overpowering. Looking for a power bomb.
Wow.
And Wendy Choo could be closing in on NXT Championship gold. Good night, sleepy time, and then, another kick out.
Wow.
And now it's Wendy Choo
Momentum.
showing that frustration, and you're right,
Vic.
momentum. You're right, momentum.
All the momentum have shifted to Wendy Choo right now, Vic. And like I said, I don't know if Kalani Jordan have any more thoughts of what can she do in a matchup like this.
Trying to clutch her out one more time. We've seen her do it successfully 3, but look at Kalani negotiating her way free. And not only that, finding a way to finally escape the clutches of Choo.
That was just a window just open for Kalani Jordan right there. She stepped in there real quick.
She doesn't have to step into a book. She's got to kick that damn thing in.
Oh. Still one step ahead. Still one step ahead. Here we go, Sleepy Psycho going up top.
Choo looking for that exclamation point. Kalani trying to block, trying to fight, trying to break this hold of Choo, and was successful for a moment. But the challenger right back in, climbing right back up. Right off, and both women go crashing down. Fatigue maybe starting to settle in. Maybe that air we've talked about, that thin air affecting these athletes.
They don't call it mile high, Vic. They don't call it mile high for nothing, man.
And the clutch locked in one more time. Kalani fighting. Kalani trying. Can she get to the ropes? Can she break the hold? And she's being clutched out. Choo squeezing. Choo looking to put to sleep. Kalani.
Baby.
Kalani's fading.
Baby.
Kalani could be out. Does Kalani have anything left? She's got to empty the tank. NXT Universe willing on the champion, who's still Booker, trying to break that hold.
Oh, like I said right now, she's still running on fumes, though, Vic. How much does Kalani Jordan have left in the tank? That's the question, man.
All you need is just a little, right, Booker?
Tell you.
You just got to have a little bit left.
Kalani's being pushed to the limit tonight, Vic. This is the farthest we've seen her go right now.
You said we were going to learn a lot about the champion, who comes right back in with a flatliner. But not moving at that normal pace
like I
we
say,
see.
Vic, no, this is mile high right here. It affects you, and if you hadn't gotten here a little early to try to combat that, it's gonna hit you sooner or later. Here we go.
Flying there. One more time. And Kalani knows it's gonna take a little extra here tonight. We saw it earlier, she couldn't connect, but looking for that split-legged, one-of-a-kind moonsault, and Jordan stands out one more time.
Wow.
Here
said she was going to show something tonight. We were going to learn a lot about the champion. And we certainly did. But Wendy Choo brought it out of the champion.
Give it up
here
for Wendy
tonight.
Choo, Vic. Give it up. What a night. What a fight.
Into the cover, near fall after near fall. And this was the best opportunity for Choo. So close to clutching out Kalani Jordan. But Jordan showed you the heart that made her a standout in the Big Ten at Michigan State. Never met a risk she wasn't willing to take. And she pulled out a lot of risks from that playbook here tonight. But the home run call, the one that always works, that one-of-a-kind, split-legged moonsault, as Kalani proves, no one can do it like Kalani. And whoever steps up next better prove to be one of a kind. It's Tatum Paxley. Paxley returning the favor to Choo. A stunned silence. Booker, you like to say sleepy time? Tatum Paxley might have just given that a whole new meaning.
For those of you who haven't caught up to the hype yet, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Jada Parker.
Miss Parker in the house.
Jada Parker has certainly made an impression very quickly.
I am confident, I am cocky, I say what's on my mind all the time. And when that money is in the middle, Jada Parker is always on point.
And Jada proves she is everything she says she is.
Because Miss Parker brings a pressure NXT has never felt before.
She's all in her element tonight. This is a street fight, man.
Parker, no!
Michin messed around and found out.
This era of NXT may be running through Miss Parker.
I bet it all on me. All I got on me is all I need. What I came here for is all I see. I'm telling whoever's in front of me.
I ain't scared of the spotlight, because I've been in this since I was a teenager. I've had D1 scholarship offers since I was in middle school, baby. I played at LSU in front of thousands and thousands of fans. I was on the US 17 women's national team for soccer. So nah, I'm not a soccer player that became a WWE superstar. I am a WWE superstar who used to play soccer.
And just like that, it's Miss Parker who's headed to No Mercy.
Roxanne Perez, you might be a great champion, but when it comes to that title, Jada Parker got next.
Everybody just always has a story when it comes to challenging me for my championship.
Roxanne, I'm gonna slap the taste out of your mouth.
I'd like to see you try.
Women's Championship matchup still to come, but there's been a lot of talk around the tag team division and the NXT tag team titles. There you see Wolfgang speaking on behalf of Gallus here tonight when it comes to what Hank and Tank had to say earlier. But speaking of earlier tonight, we got to go back to how we kicked off the evening when the NXT tag team titles were on the line. And I mean, this is hard to watch. Once again, it was Ridge Holland turning his back on Chase University here tonight in Denver, attacking his former, well, we'd call him teammates and classmates, including Andre Chase, the man who gave him a second chance here in NXT. Ridge Holland would take things to another level, really unleashing his rage with Thea Hale pleading for Ridge Holland to stop. From there, we would see Chase be stretchered out of the building here in Denver.
We're going in an ambulance if you ever
Loaded into the ambulance, and we still have not received any word on Andre Chase, but we hope to have an update on Andre Chase as soon as possible.
Excuse me, Ridge. Ridge, can you explain what happened out there? Why did you do what you did to Mr. Chase?
The following contest scheduled for one fall is for the NXT North American Championship. Introducing the challenger, accompanied by the D'Angelo family, the Don of NXT, Tony D'Angelo.
Well, heading into this matchup, Book, what sort of plan does Tony D'Angelo have to have cooked up to become champion once again in NXT?
Thinking of a master plan. Ain't nothing but sweat inside my hand. Oh yes, he's gonna have to have a plan because he's going up against that man, Oba Femi. And this is about to get nasty, dog. Oh yes.
And his opponent, he is the NXT North American Champion, Oba Femi.
Booker, you talk about the airport test. What grade do you give Oba?
Bro, that's intimidating right there. Just to watch this man make that call. Oba Femi, no bread, no water, just meat. This is gonna be good.
I got a crazy stat for you, Book.
That.
Before we start this matchup. You ready for it?
What's that? Give it to me.
Oba Femi has only had 21, think about that, 21 televised matches in NXT. 21 matches, think about how long, how dominant he's been as the North American champion. 21 matches, where were you at 21 matches in your career?
I was still a greenhorn. I had no titles or anything like that. But this man said he has no weaknesses. We wonder how far can Oba Femi go?
That's the first time ever these two have met in any sort of matchup. And, you know, we saw the Don overpower Oba Femi a few weeks ago on NXT. Do some forget what the Don has accomplished here in NXT?
I think so. I think so. You look at the Don, the Heritage Cup, man, that was just an appetizer. I said it. The Don wants more, and it starts right here tonight with the North American Championship.
You talk about someone who beat Tommaso Ciampa, stand and deliver, won the turf war against Santos Escobar, has won tag team gold, the Heritage Cup that you just talked about, put the family together, but now it's face to face, and look at that takedown. How many people have taken out Oba Femi that quick?
That's what the Don is all about. He's gonna go toe to toe with you. It's about who's the last man standing. That's gangster, baby.
Oba Femi entering right back, and talk about the Don, talk about what happened a few weeks ago. How much credit do you give the Don for standing up to Oba Femi? Because no one has ever stood up to Oba Femi the way Tony D'Angelo has.
Sometimes, Vic, you just got to take the respect. Somebody's not going to give it to you like Oba Femi because he feel like he is the ruler of NXT. You got to go out there and show him who's boss. Here we go.
Determination in the eyes, and Tony D'Angelo is rocking Oba Femi right now. Hoisted and planted over 2 weeks ago. The ring shook, the world was shocked, and we can agree that no one has handled Obafemi in that way. And early on, a couple German suplexes, he's throwing around Obafemi compared to what we've seen.
Wow. Technique coming into play from Obafemi. I didn't see that right there.
Oh, and Oba now. Fun and games might be over for the challenger, for the Don, for Tony D'Angelo in this matchup with Obafemi.
I like about Tony D, he's going to come in here and he's going to go toe-to-toe. He's not going to try to take a backdoor, way it in or anything like that. He's going to go one-on-one, mano-a-mano, and I like that. The Don is in great shape, too. You gotta look at his body. Look at his body.
Very true. We saw one title change hands already tonight. Will we see a second as Tony D'Angelo just got dropped by Obafemi?
No, I think he caught a low blow right there, Vic.
Well, that'll drop any man, any human as well. And you talk about it wasn't
inadvertent.
It wasn't inadvertent. It's a great job by the official to let this one continue. And you got to wonder when it comes to being impartial. Trick Williams, a special guest referee, coming up later tonight. You know he's going to call things right down the middle.
You think? He's going to call it down the middle?
I really do believe so.
Come on, man. Don't be naive.
I really do
Don't
believe
be so
he's gonna do
naive,
that.
please.
And right now, big suplex by Obafemi, and the game might have changed here in this matchup. Is going into the cover as Obafemi and the Don able to kick out. And I want to go back for a moment because look at the landing right here. He stepped on the right foot of Obafemi and turned the ankle. And you think about a sprained ankle, you think about a turned ankle, that sometimes sidelines NFL players for 6-7 weeks.
The thing is, we don't know how bad it is, Vic. We don't know if it's a sprain or if it's a break, but he's going to have to fight through it if he wants that title.
You got to wonder, too, if under those boots, maybe the Don has that ankle tape, which might help him a little bit in this matchup. But also, if it's not, how much power is Tony D'Angelo going to have in this matchup? We talk about that huge 2 weeks ago when he just planted Oba and the German suplexes we've seen. He might not have that lower base in the book if there's some severe damage done to that ankle.
We're going to find out real quick how far he can go because adrenaline's only going to take him so far before that pain set in. And trust me, Obafemi, he's not going to let up any. He's going to keep the hammer down. Oh wow!
Well, we might have to put on words because Tony D'Angelo powering through whatever sort of injury he may or maybe not have right now in this matchup.
Still hard to get up to his feet, though, Vic.
And many have tried to show Oba that he was mortal, but no one has succeeded. And you're seeing right now maybe why. The power, the pure dominance from Oba.
The thing about Obafemi, he fights up to the strengths of his opponents, Vic. I mean, wherever you go, he's going to match you. That's what I like about this guy, Obafemi. He's different.
Femi dominating NXT like he did the SEC and Alabama. And Coach Prime could use a few Obafemis on the offensive line at Colorado.
Yes, indeed. Here we go.
Will this be enough? And no, Tony D's not going to go down that easy. I think we can agree with that, too. You don't become the Don just rolling over.
No. Obafemi gave him respect and called him the Don of NXT, but he also said one thing, Vic. He's the ruler of NXT. That's a little different.
Now you can say that again. Of course, voice of WWE on his way back from Germany. Bash in Berlin was yesterday. That being Michael Cole has said time and time again he sees big things for Obafemi. And once again, here tonight, Obafemi is just dominant.
About Obafemi, that cloak of invincibility.
Feel this.
Oh my God, man.
Makes you glad you're sitting next to me finally, doesn't it, Booker?
Man, I don't want no piece of this right here. This dude, like I say, he could go in any era, Vic. I mean, the past, the present, or the future. This dude right here, he is the next big thing.
And just showing that dominance. Again, Oba declared he doesn't seek Tony's acceptance or approval for anything as the Don. These two have been trying to one-up each other, but we both can agree that this matchup really changed for a moment. When Tony D'Angelo rolled his ankle earlier, what sort of pain now is D'Angelo in? What is he going to be able to withstand as this matchup continues? And the Don tries to bring the North American title to the family.
Trying to keep the big man close
Trying
to the
hoist
body.
him up. Papa Shango as shoulder breaker.
Wow.
The voodoo here in Denver, not enough. D'Angelo again able to kick out.
Unstoppable, this man. Check this out, Vic. Look at the power.
Not just the power, but think about how quick Tony D had a kick under the jaw.
Not just that, Vic.
And then who picked him up, bam.
Tony D's about 260 pounds as well. Come on, man.
D'Angelo continuing to fight, and we've seen the Don do this in the past. Think about stand and deliver when the NXT title is on the line. Not staying down to someone like Ilya Dragunov. The Don right back in center of the ring, and in the words of Booker T, he's throwing some hands.
There's big boy beads right there, trying to go for a belly. Oh no! Got caught by the big man.
Guys, power. We can keep saying it because it's so true when it comes to Oba. How wise is this on one leg? Tony got caught by Femi. Oba trying to hoist up the Don. Don trying to block the best he can. And Tony up and whoa! The family out here to our right. Trying to coach up.
Oh, here we go.
Trying to help out.
Here we go.
Don.
We're in no man's land right now, dog.
You hear Stacks, the underboss, yelling to D'Angelo. He's gonna need everyone in the family to try to turn things around, and he just did. Stacks adding fuel. Luca, Riz, firing up. Tony D'Angelo. And look at Oba Femi. How in the hell do you bounce back up that quick?
Oh, he's the guy.
Unbelievable. That shot didn't work. We saw it earlier.
Oh!
Overhead belly to belly.
Man.
This is the Don's moment.
All man right there, dog. All man by Tony D'Angelo. Like I say, Vic, he's going to take it to you. He's going to go one-on-one. It's going to be about the last man standing here tonight.
Tony has to block out the pain. Tony's got to add fuel and right back in. It doesn't look like a man who's hurt. It's looked like a man who's ready to stand toe-to-toe with the ruler of NXT. It's the Don of NXT. It's for the North American title here at No Mercy.
He's going to slay the dragon. Can he slay the big man? Can he stop Oba Femi? That's the question, Vic.
Belly to belly. And again, the Don tossing the ruler. Can he do it?
Fisherman.
Forget about it! No!
Wow. Oba just slipped out that side door right there, Vic.
It's all about the North American Championship. You see Stacks, Luca, Riz, the family here ringside. For the Don, for Tony D'Angelo, who has been in a slugfest against the champion, Oba Femi, who again powers his way out.
Man.
Hoisting up the challenger back on his feet, and answering right back with a shot under the jaw. Here comes D'Angelo, and if this turns into a slugfest, who do you got? Power slam!
Yeah! Taking it to the street right now is Tony D'Angelo, Vic.
He can take it wherever. He can go back to his restaurant if he wants. Wherever he's taking it, he wants to take back.
Tony D's got that
the North American title.
Like he's got that second win. Oh my God!
Think about the ankle. Think about the lower body. Tony, you gotta be kidding me! No one has done this to the ruler. Is it enough? Championship match is going to continue.
It's going to take a whole lot more than that to keep the big man down, Vic.
But you talk about the weight of Tony D'Angelo. Talk about the weight of Oba Femi. 280, 285.
Oba Femi, 300 pounds.
300 pounds, I mean,
6'6" tall. He's a big man. He's a giant.
Whoa.
Get your hands up. Get your hands up. Get your hands up.
The family out here. And the hell did he get a crowbar? Oba Femi is wiping out the family, but it opened the door for the Don. This is that moment, Book.
Yes, indeed. Take advantage of it. Here we go. Oh, my God.
Intensity.
Is that it?
The Don.
Was that the master plan?
Femi is being rocked.
Vic, was that the master plan?
D'Angelo's fighting through the pain. Hoisting up Femi one more time. I cannot believe what we are seeing out of Tony D'Angelo tonight. And also, Oba Femi, just tossed D'Angelo like is known as pizza.
God, man, the strength of this man. How far can he go, Vic? How far can he go?
And Oba now, following it up with that massive, he was looking for that power bomb. Obviously, D'Angelo had it scouted, both men spilling up and over to the outside. And I mean, the family's still down, much like the Don is right now.
Oba Femi's a monster, man. He's truly a monster, Vic.
Oh
my God!
At first you don't succeed. Try and try again. Oba Femi. The Don just kicked out of Oba Femi's powerbomb.
You gotta be kidding me.
No one's done that before. I'm at a loss for words, Book. I just took a look at some members of the NXT universe. They're just as shocked as us.
Oba seems to be searching right now. Seems like the wheels are turning in his head. What should I do? What's next?
Oba Femi, we said this earlier tonight with Kalani Jordan. Going deep into that playbook. What plays could Oba Femi have left? The Don right now. I just can't get over how Tony D'Angelo continuing to fight for that fight.
Here we go. One more time.
D'Angelo with a counter. Oh! D'Angelo just dominated. Wow. Champion. And he couldn't get into the cover.
Yeah, but he's going toe-to-toe.
Man.
He's going toe-to-toe.
He couldn't crawl into the cover. What is it going to take? Oba Femi on the back foot. Family rallying. The Don. NXT Universe on their feet. Oh, and like a machine, just continuing to push,
like a
continuing to persevere.
Oh my God!
Powerbomb. Oba though, I ain't done yet. Third time the charm. Bam! Sit down style. The ruler defeats the Don.
Here is your winner, and still the NXT North American Champion, Oba Femi!
Oba Femi pushed to the deep waters tonight by the Don, who hit that rib-cracking, bone-shattering spear. Was not enough. Oba Femi, the champion, was on the back foot, able to kick out. When we talk about kickouts, big powerbomb from the champion, no one has ever done it. But the challenger tonight was able to kick out of the first powerbomb. Same cannot be said for the second powerbomb, which then the ruler of NXT, Oba Femi, knew he needed a little extra and delivered a third massive powerbomb tonight to retain the North American Championship. He is the ruler of NXT. He is unconquerable, dominating, and unbeaten North American champion, Oba Femi.
What the hell do you want?
Look, dog, I'm just here to put you on notice that tonight I will be calling this match
Right down the middle. Right. It's a bigger joke than you as NXT champion.
Nah, forget that. You the joke. And tonight, you're gonna abide by my rules.
Okay, Trick, how about me and you, we cut through the crap? Because I understand how this is gonna go. I have something you want. And you can't beat me for it. So you're gonna do everything in your power to make sure Joe Hendry walks out with this.
Really, Ethan? I can't beat you for that right there? Come on, dog. It's not about that. It's not about you. It's not about you and Joe Hendry. Right now, it's about you abiding by my rules. And if you don't, I'm gonna whoop that Trick tonight.
Zach, a huge win for you tonight. You must feel a sense of redemption beating Wesley.
I am so excited. I got my hand raised on such a big PLE. And yes, I may have won the match, but I lost a brother in the process. But it's time for me to put my former best friend in the rear view and be grateful for the brother that I have right here. You know, true friends show up no matter what, and this man right here is a real brother through it all.
I love you, bro. I was just doing for you what you would have done for me. I know that.
Well, now it's time to move from the past and look towards the future, bro.
One thing Zach and I do best is we keep moving. Tonight we got new tag champs in Nathan and Axiom. Those guys beat MSK a few weeks ago.
But they've never faced the Rascals. So, Fraxium, what do you say? Accept our challenge? We'll be waiting. Thank you.
Thank you, congrats.
Well, no fear from the Rascals, and Jada Parker has shown no fear looking at the champion. Will the lights be too bright for the challenger when she takes on the Prodigy, our women's champion, Roxanne Perez?
When I look in the mirror, I don't see a villain. I don't see a hero. All I see is the Prodigy. I am the most decorated woman in NXT history. Breakout tournament winner, Iron Survivor winner, Women's Tag Champion, your two-time NXT Women's Champion.
Ain't nobody on the planet doing it like me. I always reign supreme cause I'm the GOAT. Nobody can deny I'm the one.
This NXT Women's Championship has always been my why. It's me and my title against the world, and that's fine. Because as good as these girls are, I'm simply better. Whoever you put in line for me, I'm always gonna find a way to win. Ask Natalya, ask Jordan Grace, ask Lyra Valkyria, because there is not one woman that can take this title away from me.
Roxanne Perez, you might be a great champion, but when it comes to that title, Jada Parker got next.
Everybody just always has a story when it comes to challenging me for my championship, but those stories always end up in the exact same way.
The winner and still the NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez.
Miss Parker, look at you. A little less than a year from her debut to her big title match. Confident challenger, you've got it all. Except for one thing. You're not the Prodigy. At No Mercy, I'm gonna prove to everybody that she was nothing but hype. There's no one better than me.
Y'all all saw what I already know. Roxanne is a decorated women's champion, no doubt. But after tonight, baby girl, you can keep your little nickname because your title is coming home with me. Because tonight, Jada Parker is on point, and I am ready to be the next women's champion. Man, let's go.
Look, I want you to step out of the box for a moment. I know how close you are to Roxanne Perez, but how is Jada Parker different than the rest of the names we just heard from Perez?
You gotta understand, Jada Parker's been in this thing truly for just over a year. She's got natural talent, Victor. She's still working on that playbook. Tonight, we're gonna find out a whole lot about Miss Parker. Is she ready for this moment under the bright lights?
Glad you brought that up because, yeah, it's been less than a year since she made her NXT in-ring debut, and she trained with Roxanne Perez once she arrived at the Performance Center. But I will come back to you and say this. Why do some, including those online, continue to doubt how great the Prodigy is. I know you've heard those that are on podcasts and everything. Why do they continue to doubt our champion?
You know, you're talking about the internet, Vic. I mean, it's hard to see how great and how talented Roxanne Perez truly is from the outside looking in, but up close and personal, I see nothing but greatness. Up close and personal, I see nothing but the finest as far as NXT goes. She's like the wind, Vic. You can feel her, but you can't touch her, but you know she's there.
Only one woman, Io Sky, has competed in more premium live events in NXT than Roxanne Perez.
The following contest scheduled for one fall is for the NXT Women's Championship! Introducing first the challenger, representing OTM, Jada Parker! And her opponent, she is the NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez!
Soaking in the spotlight. And when it comes to the challenger, butterflies have to be the size of eagles. But she has earned this opportunity, not just by winning the gauntlet several weeks ago, but also this year. 11-1 is Jada Parker. She's been doing it in the ring, showing you how far she has come since that in-ring debut, again, less than 12 months ago. Now, premium live event, championship match.
Under the bright lights, you know, we talk about those butterflies, but getting those butterflies to line up and fly straight, that's what Jada Parker is going to have to do. Because I'm sure she's nervous. I'm sure you can't see it on the outside, but on the inside, I'm sure she's feeling just a little bit.
Well, Parker,
just a little bit.
Parker thinks Perez is underestimating her, and would you agree with the challenger? I mean, you saw the sit-down interview this past week.
Yeah, I would think so. I think she's underestimated just a little bit.
And that's fair. I mean, again, for everything that Roxanne Perez has done, quick cover of the matchup and a kick out. Everything that she has accomplished this year. You take a look at Parker, who defeated 5 other women 2 weeks ago, earned this #1 contender opportunity. But what sort of emotions will the stoic challenger be facing internally in this match?
I think, of course, she's going to be going through a whole lot internally, but because she's in there with Roxanne Perez, somebody who's very decorated. And she's a prize fighter, Vic. And that slap, don't think Roxanne Perez is not thinking about it.
Well, early on, we see this offense and a nice counter by the Prodigy.
Oh, yeah.
And again, things got intense between these two this past Tuesday. The challenger shocked the champion with a slap that was really felt by the entire locker room. It really maybe has set the tone for the week for the champion, and maybe for the challenger as a challenger. Nice takedown and answering right back. And look, Jada Parker, she will not be intimidated.
Oh, she won't be intimidated. Oh, my God.
Oh, we talk about
oh,
that
my
slap.
God.
Talk about that slap. Uh-oh. You talk about what, going to the streets?
It was just payback, Vic. That was just a little payback.
Parker now talking, walking, slapping, and dropping the champion. And this might now have just gotten into the wheelhouse of Jada Parker. And yes, as this match has gone on, I've looked up and I see the tape that is on the right ribs of Jada Parker. What sort of, where is she physically? I'm sure she'll be able to block out that pain to put gold around her waist.
Big match, Vic. This is a big match, and we've seen this before. Roxanne Perez is in the drop zone. Oh, beautiful.
Perez knew exactly what was coming, of course, due to the game that you've talked about several times. Had the challenger scouted. Right now could be baiting in Jada Parker. Perez picking up some steam. Hopping right over Parker. Parker back to her feet. Swings Wally with a clothesline. Prodigy coming in and just got planted by Parker.
One thing that worries me in this matchup for Roxanne Perez is the power of Jada Parker.
Oh,
the tenacity that she works with. Oh, my God,
that
man.
double underhook suplex on display, but look at Parker. Parker was offensive right there, but went right to those ribs we talked about seconds ago. And, you know, Perez had to have seen what we're seeing too, right?
Yes, indeed, but Perez just baited her in right there. That's the smarts of the young lady, Roxanne Perez, the Prodigy. Now she's on the move, Vic. Here we go.
And looking to fly, but got caught. Talk about blocking out that pain. Jada Parker said, keep your nickname, because I came to Denver, I came to No Mercy to do one thing, take your title.
Talk about this, the strength of Jada Parker.
You can still talk about it, but oh! And I think the point of the steel steps just caught the damaged ribs, the injured area on Jada Parker, and if it did before, it certainly did now.
Roxanne Perez is literally operating on another level right now, Vic.
And we've seen Jada back up her talk. We've seen it in the street fight with Michin, but this is a premium live event. This is Roxanne Perez. This is the NXT Women's Championship. And I know Jada Parker is a driven competitor, but you can also say Roxanne Perez is just as driven. And now, with a foot in the back of the spine, the arms don't bend that far back, Book. And oh my God! This isn't that bubbly Roxanne Perez you knew in Houston, Texas.
This is beautiful work, Vic. I mean, look at the control of Roxanne Perez, letting the referee do his job right there, taking her time. She'll take the win by countout. I love this.
She will also back up everything she says. She will do whatever it takes to keep the NXT Women's Championship. There's nothing Roxanne Perez won't do to keep that gold around her waist. The youngest two-time NXT Women's Champion. Third woman to ever hold that title more than once. We saw the accolades earlier, and right now she's putting it all on display.
Oh, you ain't lying, man. Right now, you talk about Roxanne Perez flipping the switch, and right now,
oh, and right back to the gut.
Another level,
right
baby.
Back to the ribs. Into the cover. Title on the line. Jada Parker's not going to go down like that tonight. Just took a big gasp of air to get some air in the lungs after what we've seen. The damage being done. The NXT universe is split. Denver becoming unglued. This is why NXT's got the best women's division in all of professional wrestling.
Roxanne Perez is on another level, like I say right now. They keep lining them up, and Roxanne Perez just keep knocking them down, Vic, because
Parker now trying to swing.
that good, man.
Parker now trying to swing wildly, just trying to connect. You got to know she's fighting through some pain, trying to get some breath into the cover. Title on the line, and almost that slip brought gold to Miss Parker, and a drop kick right back to the gut. Bullseye on the body of the challenger.
You can tell Miss Parker has run out of ideas right now, just tried to steal one from Roxanne Perez, Vic.
And again into the steel, that cold, unforgiving steel post. Perez continuing to apply the pressure.
It's all legal. That's all legal.
That is not legal.
Look, you got 5 seconds, man. You got 5 seconds right there. That's all we box. Come on, man. Come on, I am.
Referee stepping in. This matchup will continue. To your point, she did not cross the 5, but into the cover and a kick out by Jada Parker. The list of names who have tried but failed to dethrone Perez. Breakout tournament winner Lola Vice, Raw's Lyra Valkyria, Thea Hale, Tatum Paxton, Jordan Grace, Chelsea Green, and right now she is punishing Parker.
She knows the rules. That's called bending the rules, Vic, but not breaking them. That's coming to the line, but not crossing it. That's what Roxanne, she's smart, man.
It is all about the NXT Women's Championship on the line. Here at No Mercy. It has been all Roxanne Perez for the last several minutes, but now we'll look at determination on the Facebook. Pinpoint, elbow precision from Roxanne Perez to Parker's ribs.
Talk about those ribs at the dominant stretch right now. She's locked it in, and Roxanne Perez has locked it. She may tap. Jada Parker may tap.
Look at the welt starting to form on that already damaged body part. The ribs, the stomach, the back.
Big shot.
And again, the NXT Universe right now trying to rally Jada Parker. Perez firing back. And it was Perez who gave Parker credit during her media this week, but said it's not her time yet. Parker looking to prove her wrong with another right hand under the jaw. Parker still standing, but Perez right back to the body.
I don't want to get into a fight, I don't think, with Miss Parker, because like I say, she's got the strength advantage, but Roxanne Perez is so smart.
But if you're not at 100%, Book, what does the strength advantage have to do if her right side of her body she can't use? She really only has the left side of her power. And Perez trying to make that power even weaken right now.
Miss Parker's the one who said she had next. What are you talking about?
Oh, and paying back Parker. And now mocking the challenge.
High step, Rambling Tigers. I love it, man.
Said everyone has the same story when they challenge her. It ends the same way. Disappointment for the opposition. Perez still talking smack. And I don't know, is Roxanne Perez maybe enjoying punishing Miss Parker? Parker with a catch. Perez pleading her case, but maybe Miss Parker has gotten her second, maybe her third win, and trying to hoist up with another power. She's got right.
Oh no, come on.
For the title. And, near fall on the champion. At this juncture in the game, though, maybe emptying that tank right there in that moment. What is it going to take now for Parker to beat Perez? Everything we've seen tonight, Book, up to this moment, as the NXT Universe on their feet, chanting for these two.
Miss Parker still clutching at that rib, though, Vic. And I'm going to tell you right now, the rib injury is one that's hard to get over because it's not just the rib, it's the cartilage. Oh, big shots.
Answering back now, trying to damage the ribs of the champion. Perez right back into it. She said she's got next. She may just. What's on the mind of the challenger? Oh,
big shot right to the ribs.
Telegraphed it a little bit too much. Parker, though, burn! Buster falling into the cover. In again.
That was so close.
Another near fall in this match, and you gotta wonder what's going through the mind right now of the challenger.
I think it's the ribs not being able to put enough pressure on that cover right there.
First championship match, first time, excuse me, for the NXT Women's Championship in a one-on-one for Jada Parker. She's earned this opportunity, trying to make the most, but she's not in there with someone who's just an everyday superstar. She's in there right now with the measuring stick of NXT.
She's truly the best right now, Vic.
And Parker caught Perez. Parker now looking to plant Perez. And again.
Oh, man.
Right into that lower back. This didn't work earlier. Will the second time pay off? Oh. You're gonna hear that one back in Orlando. Miss Parker. What's she doing now? You said it earlier. You gotta risk it all to get it all. She's looking for a top rope teardrop. For the title. Another near fall, and now. You gotta wonder, Roxanne Perez, the mentality of the champion. Yeah, she's been in this position before.
So much support for the challenger here tonight, too, Vic.
Again, the ribs. Parker's body, I mean, just crumbled. You talk about, what did you say earlier? It's not just the ribs, it's the tissue.
The cartilage, man. The cartilage. It took me about a year to get over that injury.
And Perez now taking that little bit of opportunity. Saw that door open, trying to kick it in, looking for that crossface. Couldn't get it once, trying to roll through, trying to get that Russian leg sweep. Parker countered. Parker trying to reverse, and she certainly did.
Wow.
This could be Parker's golden moment. You know, OTM's looking on. She's looking for that hip. No, gonna shoulder down, shoulder down.
That's so crafty. Wow.
Into the crossface now. What a transition. And remember, they said you were ribs of Saturn. His elbows into that injured ribs, into that injured midsection.
Let me tell you something.
Parker, is she gonna tap?
She's gonna have to throw the tap. She can't
Parker
do
gonna quit.
Oh, got out
Parker
of
trying to fight. We're gonna learn a lot about Miss Parker right now in this moment.
The strength of Miss Parker, Vic.
The determination. Oh my, the strength. Oh my, the determination. Is she the one? Miss Parker, is tonight your time? It very well could be. Roxanne Perez has to realize right now, she's not in there with anybody. She's never been in there with somebody. That's like, oh! But Miss Parker, you gotta give her credit. She's shooting her shot. She's going for it all. She's going for broke.
Got caught in a bad position. Could this be it? Oh, my God, man, so close.
Big kick. And we know what we see followed up. Pop Rocks didn't connect. Parker now, this is it.
Oh, bad position. Oh!
Hypnotic! But oh! Perez right here in front of us. The momentum. But you gotta think, if that was maybe another 6 inches to the left to the center of the ring, we might have a new champion.
I wouldn't say with the inexperience of Jada Parker or anything like that, but she was just caught up in the moment and wanted to land that big shot.
Moment.
Oh!
That might be the moment of the match. Perez just saw her championship flash before her eyes. Pop Rocks right out here on that barricade. That's not a table, Booker. That's not a chair. That is the barricade that they just went crashing through, and by that I mean Parker went through and on that barricade. Not once, but twice. How the hell is she moving? The referee's up to 5. If he gets to 10, the title stays with the champion. Parker's got to get back in the ring. The only way she can win the title is inside the squared circle.
Oh, man.
Parker broke the count.
Wow.
This match continues, but maybe not for long. Pop Rocks again, and Perez reign continues as champion.
Here is your winner, and still the NXT Women's Champion, Roxanne Perez.
I gotta give it to you, Book. She finds a way to get the job done, but take nothing away from Jada Parker here tonight, who went for broke and then broke the barricade. Perez, the veteran, used it to her advantage. You said it earlier, she didn't break any rules. She used the environment to her advantage. She got back into the ring to hit a second Pop Rocks. But Jada Parker proved she belonged here in NXT. But listen to this, only Asuka now has more premium live event victories in the women's division as the legacy continues to grow for the Prodigy. The rumors are true. The speculation is over. Julia has arrived in NXT. And Book, if there's quite possibly anyone that can keep Perez from more records, we could be looking at her.
Ava, an eventful night here in Denver. But first, I have to ask, do you have a medical update on Mr. Chase?
Sarah, I wish I knew more. I mean, everyone, including myself, is completely blindsided by what happened tonight. I don't know what got into Rich Holland. As for Mr. Chase, he's still in the hospital. He's going to stay there overnight. They're going to keep running some tests. If I hear anything else, I'll obviously let you know, and I'll let everyone else know on social as well.
Thanks so much. Now, in light of the new NXT Tag Team Champions being crowned tonight, we've heard from a few tag teams that are fighting for that opportunity for that first title match.
Yes, I mean, I've seen the videos, I've seen all the tweets, so I decided this Tuesday, triple threat tag team match, Gallus, Rascals, Hank and Tank. Whoever wins will then face our new champs on September 10th as part of WWE's Week on USA.
Wow, that's a lot of excitement leading up to NXT's debut on the CW, which will happen in Chicago.
Yes, and speaking of that, whoever wins the main event tonight, Joe or Ethan, will defend that NXT championship as part of our launch show in Chicago.
Thanks so much, Ava. The GM with some major news. Vic, Booker, back to you guys.
Well, thank you very much. You did hear from our general manager, Ava, which of these three teams will rise up. A triple threat #1 contenders match for the NXT tag team titles takes place Tuesday on NXT. Also, which of these two superstars is going to step up as they finally meet one-on-one? No more trash talking. Who walks out victorious? Will it be Oro Mensah or Lexis King? We find out live Tuesday on NXT, and this rivalry takes its next step as Trick Williams will meet Pete Dunne. The Bruiserweight has warned Trick he may not make it to Tuesday. Has Trick figured it out? We're going to find out in 48 hours on NXT. But in a matter of moments, Trick will be the special guest referee as Joe Hendry looks to make a believer out of Ethan Page with the NXT title hanging in the balance. Will the Ego era continue after No Mercy?
The Whoop That era is officially
Wait, no!
done.
No!
When Ethan Page says it, oh, it comes true. 6 weeks? That's all it took Ethan Page to absolutely take over this entire brand.
Let's go. Yeah, look at me now. Hey, yeah, look at me, look at me. Look at my life, look at my game. Get me in sight, get me ingrained. Look at me now, again and again.
This is not NXT. It's NXT.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
TNA's Joe Hendry, perhaps the most trending wrestler in the world, is here right now.
I've put in my 10,000 hours in the ring, in the studio, and mastering social media. There's no one left on planet Earth who hasn't found themselves chanting,
Do you believe?
Do you believe?
No, do you believe?
We believe.
Wrong. I don't.
I don't even know why you're hanging around NXT.
I'm here to win the NXT Championship.
The following is a #1 contenders match.
2 months ago, no one in their wildest dreams would have thought it'd be possible for Joe Hendry to challenge for the NXT title.
And I'll make sure that none of these outsiders come to NXT and ruin what we have.
Into the cover to whoa!
Get your ass back to TNA.
You know what I'm driven by?
Hendry, one more time!
Proving that I belong here in NXT.
A second official! Come on, damn it! Trick shot! Hendry's into the cover! Joe Hendry will challenge Ethan Page. And it was Joe Hendry who made believers out of everyone here tonight.
Ethan sucks. Believe in Joe. Ethan, put on some clothes. Everyone, Ethan sucks.
Wrong. You're trying to embarrass me, huh? You are not an NXT superstar. I'm the champion of this company. Stop singing.
Ethan, because of your blatant disrespect to our officials, your title defense will have
Willie.
Ethan Page beside himself. And Hendry. Standing ovation.
No. Oh, hell no.
We could see that Sunday. Will the NXT Universe be singing along with a new NXT champion?
What? Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, I like it. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, man. That's Craig. He's the ref tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your special guest referee, Trick Williams.
What was the giveaway there, Detective? The referee shirt he had on? You know, all joking aside, is Trick going to call this down the middle? I think he will.
You don't think Trick is going to call it down the middle, but I don't think Trick should be in the ring tonight. This is business that should not concern Trick Williams.
Hey, it was Ava, general manager.
I get it.
Well, I mean, there's a lot on his mind. Pete Dunne, the NXT title. His job is to be impartial, but can Trick keep his emotions in check? I mean, he holds the fate of the NXT Championship in his hands.
Well, Vic, Trick Williams lost to Ethan Page fair and square. You can't be mad at that.
I'm not mad at it. I just asked you a simple question. He's been on a self-described 10-year odyssey. Called tonight the biggest opportunity of his career. It's hard to argue, but we also know that if he wins, he's promised Trick Williams an opportunity at the title. What a scene this is here in Denver. And think about this, book. Will Joe Hendry test the limits with Trick Williams tonight? Will he see just how far he can push Trick, knowing that if he wins, Trick gets the title opportunity?
I think Joe Hendry is in this. He's got a shot, Vic. He's got a shot at gold. He's got a shot at the NXT Championship. He's focused and he's ready for this moment. That's what I believe.
The silly songs and obnoxious chants. The face of this brand and your NXT champion, All Ego Ethan Page, oh, he's gonna do exactly what he does best. Win. Hit my music.
Kill him with a smile.
You talk about that referee shirt, minding his own business when it comes to Trick Williams. The champion, Ethan Page, has no one to blame but himself for Trick being the special guest referee.
You can say that.
Put his hands on the official. Pull the official out of the ring. Ava,
what that got to do with Trick Williams being the special guest referee?
He's the only one who can contain this
match. They don't have a
book.
senior referee back there they can sit out for this match. Come on, Vic. You know better than that.
I know that the general manager's rule is final. You were the general manager of SmackDown once before.
Yeah.
No one remembers it because you couldn't do the job like Ava can.
Yeah, you know what? I did a fairly good job. I'm going to say that.
The following contest scheduled for one fall is for the NXT Championship! Introducing first the challenger, Joe Hendry! And his opponent, he is the NXT Champion, All Ego, Ethan Page!
History is here. And you are defined sometimes in your life by one singular event. Which of these men are going to look back on tonight as that? This one's official, underway. Here we go, the main event of No Mercy.
Call it down the middle. That's all I need you to do, son.
Yesterday I had a chance to sit down with Ethan Page and I asked him straight up, how are you going to contain your emotions when you have part of the NXT universe saying we believe, the other half saying whoop that trick. He says he's going to be able to block everything out. Do you think he's going to be able to do just that?
But it's going to be hard. I mean, he just don't trick me. I heard him go here. Do the job, man. Do your job and do the job well.
Well, there.
Back it up, back it up, back it up. Get out of the corner. I like that. Get your hands off me. I'm the ref. Let's go.
Well, Page yelling, if you're not going to listen, you're going to get disqualified. Trick Williams doing what he was set out to do. Be the official. Call this down the middle. Feeling out process early on in this matchup. And now Joe Hendry, the aggressor. Backing Page up into the corner. The title on the line.
Come on, ref. Let him fight.
No, he did the exact same thing to Page that he did to Hendry, vice versa. He's calling it down the middle, Book.
All right, okay. You can say that.
First time a contracted TNA wrestler has main evented a WWE Premium Live event. The first time a TNA wrestler has competed for the NXT title. This, of course, history-making moment. We saw a TNA wrestler victorious earlier in Zachary Wentz. Can Hendry follow suit and bring along the NXT title?
If Joe Hendry win this NXT championship, I mean,
Can you imagine?
He could just take off and ride off in the sunset, man.
No doubt Denver believes here tonight. You know, for all the Ethan Pages of the world that don't like Hendry, don't like the songs, don't like the concerts, don't like the journey. You know what Joe Hendry has done throughout his career? He's killed him with a smile.
I'm not going to even answer that.
You didn't like that one, did you? So, hey, why don't you believe in Joe Hendry tonight? You're the president of the fan
It's not
club.
that I don't believe in Joe Hendry. I'm talking about Ethan Page is a guy who worked real hard to get a contract. I mean, Joe Hendry, I mean, is he working on a handshake deal or what?
It's not my call, so are you telling me that you believe in Ethan Page more than you believe in Joe Hendry?
I like Ethan Page. I let you say that. Ethan Page has done some great work since showing up here and in NXT. Put everybody in that locker room on notice and became the champion at a quick pace. You gotta love that.
Hendry, who's driven by passion. Page, who's driven by feeding his own ego.
Talking about.
It was Hendry who again said if he wins, Trick will get the first opportunity at the NXT title. Ethan Page told me he smells collusion when he hears that, so you obviously agree with the champion.
You know how that's an honorable thing right there, but I believe in what Ethan Page is talking about. That shouldn't be happening. You shouldn't be making deals before you win a championship.
Well, we're going to get a test here. Hendry not backing down from Page. Oh!
Big shot!
And speaking of big shots, what about the bulldozer?
He's down there.
Gotta remember, too, the extra pressure maybe put on both these superstars earlier.
Oh, baby.
By our
Oh, baby.
Ava.
Letting the blood rush to the head right there.
Unbelievable power and strength.
He's playing to the crowd right there.
Yeah.
He's playing, beautiful.
Title on the line. Trick in great position. And a kick out. Talk about Ava. She said the winner of this matchup will defend.
That was a big shot there by Joe Hendry.
Will defend the NXT Championship on the CW premiere. Just a few weeks away in Chicago. October the 1st. Hendry coming in, going up, going over, shoulders down one more time. Trick again in position. Another near fall back to his feet as Page right back down to the mat, back into a pinning predicament. Hendry back on top, and another count, another kick out. Oh! And Page, look how wise of Ethan Page.
All ego, taking it to the street right now. That's what I'm talking about.
Page dropped Hendry and then pounced.
Round and pound here by Ethan Page.
Talked about our general manager a few times tonight. It was off to Ethan Page, who said the #1 job of our general manager, Ava, is to take care of the champion. Tonight isn't fair. Believes everything is against him, and you can add Denver, Colorado to that.
Ego's looking great right now, Vic. He's in great shape as well.
NXT Championship on the line. And Page just
Big
got
shot.
dropped again by the challenger.
Big shot by Hendry.
Sounds like you're starting to believe, Book.
No, this is a hell of a championship match. This is for the NXT Championship.
It's been a hell of a night here at No Mercy. New champions have been crowned. Superstars have stood up and stood out, like Jada Parker. Who will stand up? Who will hold up the NXT title
back elbow by
the end of tonight?
You see that right there? Ethan Page closed the distance. Beautiful right there on Joe Hendry to land that back elbow.
You know, I want to say this too, because you've always called me a hater. Can you name someone, because I can't in recent memory, who has taken over a brand like Ethan Page?
You know what? I don't think Ethan Page has taken over the brand, but what he's done, he's shook it up. Everybody in the locker room was getting lazy, getting comfortable, and Ethan Page just slipped in the back door, and now he's the champion.
Third straight premium live event.
Oh, going for it.
Fastest to debut and win the NXT title, did it in just 40 days. Right now, he's got a submission synced in, and it's Joe Hendry trying to overpower.
Oh,
look at Page. Page has his hands locked. But Hendry able to break with another suplex. Do you believe?
I'm believing. I'm believing, Vic.
It was Hendry you heard. Ethan Page called him an outsider, which is interesting because Ethan Page was the original outsider earlier this summer. Williams got out of the way. And Page just ate the steal.
Baby just planted him right there.
And Page answering right back. I mean, these two are bringing out the heavy artillery into the cover. Hook of the leg. And that right shoulder getting off the mat.
That was good count.
That was two.
Ethan Page didn't seem to like the count. You didn't have a problem with it?
No, it was a good count.
NXT Universe referencing the latest single from Joe Hendry from this past Tuesday.
Scott, what are they talking about?
What do you mean what I'm talking about? You sat in the same seat this past Tuesday. The song, I'm not going to repeat the song, never mind. But you know exactly what I was talking about because we got to focus on the task at hand because Page has done what he told me he would do. He's blocking out the NXT Universe to the best of his ability.
We're in the high rent district right now, though, Vic.
Could be looking for his own version of a superplex. But Hendry could be looking for a super standing ovation, Page. Ooh.
That could have been it right there for Ethan Page.
Page doing his best to try to block it. Now what's Page trying to do? Is he looking for a power slam? No way. Oh! Page got all of that power slam into the cover to retain it.
I don't know
Near
about that count right there. That was a still.
Bam! I don't know if we're going to see the count the entire way through on this picture-in-picture replay. Nice job by our crew back in the truck. That seemed pretty good.
I thought Trick could have made that 3 count right there. I don't know.
Now you're Monday morning quarterbacking it right now. You just said it was good. Now you're saying it was bad. That was the same count as before. Now the NXT Universe chanting whoop that trick, and that is bruising the ego of the champion.
Look at the eyes of Ethan Page right now. Oh, yeah. He just called it. He just called his shot.
Page called the challenger undeserving, and it's Hendry popped right back up. Can you imagine what would happen to his ego if Ethan Page suffered defeat here tonight?
Wow! Big shot by him.
But look how wide. I'll give credit where credit's due. Look how wise of Ethan Page.
Page just created a lot of space right there.
Certainly did.
They believe.
Hendry telling Trick, get out of the way.
He's
Hendry's fired up.
He's smelling it.
Joe Hendry's rolling right now, but he's got to remember, all this high offense, it's all impactful. It's all great. Doing what he needs to do to stay in control of this matchup, but he's got to get Ethan Page back into the ring. It's the only place he can win the NXT Championship.
He's very crafty. He's deadly in these positions here.
No. Page with an ego's edge. Spine first. Hendry's in trouble. And look at Page. Page telling Trick to count faster.
He's telling him to do his damn job.
Damn how he wins it, because he's going to retain on a count out. Not like this. Trick's up to 7. Joe Hendry just collapsed. He's at 8. Is he going to be able to break the count? Trick's at 9. Trick almost got to 10, but he didn't quite get there.
Come on.
That was close. And once again, like we saw earlier, Ethan Page pouncing onto the challenge.
Ground and pound right now. Ground and pound, Mark Coleman-like.
Speak earlier, talk about this. Man. Spine first, and that certainly will ruin anyone's night. Oh, look at this.
Stay focused. Stay focused, Ethan.
Could Ethan Page be trying to get to the emotions of Trick Williams, looking for the ego's edge one more time? Couldn't quite get it. Joe Hendry now. What's he thinking? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, how poetic this could be. Imagine the song title book. Ego's edge to Ego for the title.
That it?
No, my.
Wow. Ethan scrambled. He scrambled to get out of that one right there.
Take another, boom! Pulling out all the stops, but not quite enough.
Vic Williams calling it right down the middle, Vic.
He certainly is. This our main event here in Denver of NXT No Mercy for the NXT Championship. TNA wrestler Joe Hendry, all ego Ethan Page, and the special referee, the man Ethan Page defeated for the NXT Championship, that being Trick Williams.
He's doing a hell of a job, I must say.
He certainly is, and Hendry has told Trick, if I win, you will get the first opportunity. Ethan Page says he smells collusion all night. This, though, breaking down. And Trick Williams,
wow,
right down the middle. But right now, Joe Hendry.
Here we go.
All
Here
ego,
we go.
letting it all out. Denver, believing.
They're believing.
Looking for the standing ovation. He got it. Believers in Denver, rise to your feet for the new. Trick did his job. The foot was under the bottom rope. He realized it. Now Trick Williams, that was in the hurt. Ethan Page from behind. Ethan Page now, standing ovation to Joe Hendry. A second official, come on, not like yes. He kicked out. Hendry's still fighting. Hendry's still fighting.
Stay on the gas, Ethan. Stay on the gas. You got this, son.
Oh, all ego. You talk about him fighting, Book. This is the easy way out.
Oh,
Hendry from behind! Hendry from behind! Another near fall. Hendry now looking down. Oh, DDT! And I believe Hendry just bounced off the NXT title.
That's it. That's it. What the?
Trick beside himself. Page just dropped the second official. Oh! A low blow. Trick didn't see the low blow.
Oh, baby.
Trick didn't see the low blow.
Wow.
Ego's edge. Trick.
Wow.
Did his job, and it's ego over belief.
Wow.
Here is your winner, and still the NXT champion, All Ego, Ethan Page.
I can't believe the look we just saw on the face of Ethan Page. Looking at Trick Williams. Trick called it right down the middle. Ethan Page had just broken the hearts of the NXT universe, and he did so with a smile. Joe Hendry hit the standing ovation, but give Trick credit, he did his job. The foot was under the rope that called for a break. Trick called it down the middle. Inadvertently, Ethan Page would wipe Trick out of the equation for the moment, would hoist up Joe Hendry delivering his own standing ovation. A second referee would come down. Once again, turning the page on Ethan was Joe Hendry, who saw that NXT title, but right here, bam, got DDT'd on the title. That's not calls for disqualification, folks. The referee was in position, but Trick Williams, he was the referee for this match. He was the one who wanted to count the three. He was the one who wanted to make the decision. He got in the face of Ethan Page, didn't like the contact earlier, but inadvertently knocking out the second official. Trick Williams' back was turned, did not see the low blow, but he did see the ego's edge. I take a second to compose myself, because once again, Trick did the right thing. Ethan Page, victorious. And now can Ethan turn the page on Summon NXT? Can't imagine what's going through the mind of Trick. That's Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne is here. The Bruiserweight with a blindsided attack on Williams. And Trick's got to figure it out, because he faces Dunne in just 48 hours. And I can't predict what's going to happen, but I can guarantee you one thing. As Page looks at Dunne, our champion, Ethan Page, and his ego are going to show no mercy to NXT.